Whoa, I have to say, the news from Campi Flegrei in Italy. I reported in my last video yesterday that they started these meetings in Rome. They are supposed to be Thursday and Friday about the risk levels at Campi Flegrei, whether they should raise the alert level from yellow to orange for Campi Flegrei. And I mean, scientists have said that for the last 1.5 years at least, and they promised. The civil protection said basically, well, if we see another earthquake in that range, in the 4 range after the earthquake in 2023, that was a 4.2, we will raise the alert level. And then in May 2024, there was another 4.4, the strongest so far in over 40 years, and nothing happened. And now, guys, today I will report people being on the streets protesting, the Italians. They're angry at their government, and I will tell you what about. And then we have the first results from this meeting, from this special council that met about the alert levels, and that will blow you away. This is something that I didn't expect at all, guys. And while all this is happening, the volcano's happening as well. Because look at the list before we get deeper into the other stuff. We just had a 1.9, before that a 3.2. That is strong for Campi Flegrei. That means something. And then just shortly before that, a 2.1 and a 1.2 and a 1.3 and a 1.3 and a 1.8. That on the 6th, and it went right into the 7th. The 7th started at midnight, shortly 38 minutes after midnight with a 3.2, and then another 1.9. And the 3.2 was super shallow, only at 0.8 kilometers depth. I'll show you the epicenters later. We'll get more into this because that's interesting as well. But guys, listen to this. So first results from that extraordinary meeting with all the officials, with the INGV, with the Vesuvius Observatory, with the civil protections, the mayors, etc., out of Rome. And the civil protection chief has said something that makes me wonder a little bit. And he said, we're thinking about new alert levels and colors. So there's green, everything's good, and there's yellow, well, attention, and then there's orange, that's really alert, that would also trigger evacuation, and then there's red, that means alarm, it's happening. So they want to have more colors. So why is that, guys? I mean, we know the civil protection was really clashing hard with a guy that does a lot of development in that area and wants to build a huge commercial development right where the Solfatara is, where if there is a potential eruption, that's the most likely spot. And there's rumors that Marriott is involved. They want to build a hotel there. So the builder was super angry at the civil protection when the civil protection guy was raising the alarm how dangerous it is there. And he's like, this is psychologically not okay and you're hurting business, blah, 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 blah. So now, what do they want to do? And it has to do with the alert levels and with evacuation. Very interesting, guys. So are they doing this? Do they want to have more like in-between colors so that they can still say tourism is good, please come, do your building stuff, commercial stuff? Because they were worried about tourism, about building values, property values, real estate sales. They came to a halt already when we had the big events last year. And then they also want to build construction sites. They want to start with that to build escape routes. So they want to do more there, it seems, and they should with all these narrow streets. So what is the civil protection saying? Because the chief Siciliano, he's the one that gave us some information today. So he says, for the volcanic risk of Campi Flegrei, and I have to say, that meeting in Rome is only about the volcanic risk, not even the earthquake risk. He says, we are considering varying the alert scale with the introduction of new levels and therefore new colors. That is interesting because these 4 levels are the same basically for many volcanoes all over the world. It's kind of standard. So they say we do not just want yellow, orange, and red alerts, but intermediate measures with the related consequences in terms of actions for the safety of the population involved. Okay, they say among the potential projections is the possible evacuation of the Pozzuoli hospital in the event that an intermediate alert between yellow and orange were triggered. What? So we know orange would mean evacuate Pozzuoli. And so they have like a medium alert where they only evacuate the hospital because that takes longer. But that is weird. So does that mean the day after we will evacuate the rest, or the rest can stay and decide for themselves what they want to do? It's kind of weird, and it's kind of, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. So an intermediate between yellow and orange, and I think Campi Flegrei at least has been in this level for at least a year and a half. Fabio Ceciliano, the head of the National Civil Protection, has illustrated this picture, and he has spoken all over the Italian news today. So they're studying this variation right now with just evacuating the hospital, which I find kind of strange. So this is what he says that's what is being studied by the Major Risk Commission in Rome right now. I'm a little bit speechless because I really thought they would discuss this monstrosity of earthquake swarm with the high ranges of earthquakes that Campi Flegrei has just seen. And basically the one ended and the next one started, not with that many earthquakes in one day, but still with several earthquakes in one day. So we're not out of the woods at all. Like I said, we just had several earthquakes already. It's increasing again, was increasing on March 6th and is increasing the same again in the magnitudes as well on March 7th. So I thought they would at least heavily discuss to raise the current alert level to orange right now. Because there's so many new findings about that volcano. So many scientists that are warning, that are telling them at least evacuate the red zone. Like 500,000 to 700,000 people that are basically on top of this massive caldera volcano that spans over 100 kilometers. But now the hospital. Great. So he says that today, what they dedicated today during that meeting was reading the scientific reports. And tomorrow they're saying some proposals could be put forward. Gosh, this is all over the world. This is not just them. I'm not bashing them specifically, but reading the reports, guys, you've been getting these reports daily for the last years and a half. The scientists are giving you daily reports, the INGV, the Vesuvius Observatory. So why do you have to meet in Rome to read these reports? You should meet in Rome to draw conclusions from these reports. And then, we had the increased CO2 emissions in Pozzuoli and in areas of Naples. And that is still the case. So great, they're saying in the meantime, the work is underway on a major project to create and improve escape routes. Yeah, that is dire needed because especially on the, this Tangenziale, the major highway where they want all local escape routes to lead to, has bridges and areas that are very prone to earthquake damage. And we see a lot of these earthquakes right underneath and also the higher ones. So should there be a massive earthquake swarm before potential eruption and that Tangenziale is damaged and unusable, game over. So in the coming months, major construction site will begin that will affect infrastructure and urban planning. They could have done that a year ago already, couldn't they? But yeah, at least they're doing something. So roads will be closed or demolished and new roads, railway tunnels, and other similar operations will be built. That takes years, as it sounds. I don't think they might not have years. So according to what has been leaked, it will have a major impact on the area, particularly in the most at-risk areas, and that's Pozzuoli. So the work should proceed quickly and be completed within 2 to 3 months, they're saying. Wow, okay. The plan for escape routes could be presented next week. So that would be great if they really hurry like that. So among the various planned interventions are those already underway. Good. That will concern the Cumana, which after passing Bagnoli crosses the area of Via Napoli. So that's a road. And in this case, the new Pozzuoli station will come into operation. The work in any case should involve public areas, and the demolition of neighborhoods or parks is not planned. So these interventions will proceed in step with those that have already started for the seismic adaptation of public and private buildings so that they will not collapse on the escape routes, because it's all stone buildings, stone and brick buildings, old buildings, narrow roads. If these roads are clogged and they're not straight like in the US or Canada, they're like winding, they're old roads. And in light of that, the Civil Protection has also released the vulnerability map of private buildings in this area where the land rise is happening, where this Brady seismic volcanic crisis is happening right now. So there you see there's some red areas that are highly at risk. The darker, the worse. So in recent months, the civil protection technicians have carried out inspections, including with drones, to verify the conditions of buildings that are located within the perimeter of this intervention zone. But residents are angry. They're saying you need to get into the buildings, right? Not with drone or not just walk by. We need to really have a serious assessment if our homes are safe so that we will not be covered by our homes should there be a bigger earthquake. So this area that you see in the light blue zone, that's the critical area. That includes the municipalities of Pozzuoli, Bartoli, and Naples. And there's a total of 9,078 buildings that they have checked already. And they're saying based on those checks, they built this interactive map that was published just now. And people can navigate around on the website. It's on the National Civil Protection Department. And every citizen can therefore look at that map easily and know in real time the level of fragility of the building where they live. And if you're interested in that map, there's also a link. I'll put it in the description of this video to the Civil Protection website. Yellow areas is low vulnerability, red is medium, dark red is high vulnerability. And the high vulnerability cells identified are probably 29, including 9 in Baccioli and 10 in Pozzuoli and 1 in Naples and 9 in Naples. So what the residents can now do, they can look at that map and then they can, and that's good, that's really great, they can get a more in-depth, free technical inspections, and they have to be conducted by qualified technicians. Consist of a visual inspection both from the outside and inside of the building. So it seems they're listening to the people, and they say with respect to the requests received, priority will be given to areas classified as having a high and medium concentration of vulnerable buildings. Also, the Meloni government has launched an extraordinary plan for this Brady seismic crisis in Campi Flegrei that has already started in 2023. 23, we had magnitudes greater than 4. So that plan was approved last year in February, and it includes 3 actions like a seismic microzonation study, analysis of the seismic vulnerability of public and private buildings, and a seismic and structural monitoring program. Because you can see here, the people of Bagnoli, they really are angry. They say, we want answers. They have occupied the headquarters of the municipality, and they're demanding immediate answers about this Brady seismic crisis. What they're saying, not only about their homes, they're saying, tell us the truth. We need to know what is the risk that we're facing so that we can make educated decisions about our lives. So they occupied this area. It was citizens, like residents of the neighborhood, and also civic committees. And the citizen associations, they are demanding immediate responses, how they call it, on this Brady seism emergency. They demand an immediate convocation of a single issue city council meeting on that Brady seism emergency. The citizens' request is to hold the meeting on the territory, local. And we will see, the City Council of Naples has already done that. They have called a single issue meeting to be held on March 10th in the headquarters in Naples, with the participation, among others, the head of the civil protection as well. So it'll also be interesting what comes out of that. And the residents further say while they're protesting, and I think they're right, they're saying even today, the institutions have not understood the seriousness of the current Brady seismic crisis and the rapid spread of panic and fear among the population. Wow, right? Some measures have been necessary for some time. Seismic adaptation of buildings to the continuous stresses. Agree. First reception facilities for those who cannot spend the nights at home after these tremors. Agreed. Many people have slept in their cars, had to go to other families, or had to sleep in these temporary tents, like in May 20th last year. They say adequate escape routes, blanket checks of all buildings, including the private ones. Up to now, little or nothing has been done. Every day, they're saying, risk management is left to individual responsibility and the economic availability of individuals. The protesters demand concrete solutions. They're saying every day we witness new announcements that are scary and that are unnerving and very concerning for us. So what they want is widespread checks for the stability of public and private buildings. That seems to hopefully be happening now, but also alternative and sustainable solutions for any evacuees from buildings at risk. Freeze on mortgages, for example, and rent for all evacuees. Adaptation of escape routes to the number of inhabitants with effective traffic management, because so far this is only on paper. Then they say, let's open the former NATO base and the safe areas of the former Italsider, creating collection and refreshment points in particular for people with disabilities, children and the elderly, guarantee of fixed facilities for psychological and medical support. Mapping of non-self-sufficient people for timely home interventions in the event of an earthquake. Wow, yes. Blocking of concreting in the Campi Flegrei, immediately stopping all new private building projects. Wow. While the others are sitting in Rome and discussing another color level so that they would evacuate the hospital of Pozzuoli. You see how that clashes with each other? I mean, we don't have all the details of this meeting, but it sounds kind of like lame what they came up with so far. Talk to these citizens organizations. They have really valuable proposals. And then involve all these scientists from the INGV that have warned about the crisis for years. And say, please, can we evacuate at least Pozzuoli in that area? Let's have a look at the 3.2 again, where the epicenter of that earthquake was. And what a surprise, right? It's right where the Solfatara is, in that area where we've seen most of the earthquakes. And then you see in red the Tangenziale di Napoli. We've also seen quite a few earthquakes there. This is basically the artery that they need for all their evacuation plans, because they want to lead people from Pozzuoli and east and west of Pozzuoli up north towards the Tangenziale di Napoli. But if that Tangenziale is not working, when it's getting really, really serious with this volcano, should there be even a smaller phreatic eruption, it will create panic. So I think what the citizens are proposing is very, very good, guys. So I hope you liked that update. There's more to come. In the meantime, check out what's going on at Mount Teide in Tenerife in Spain. So it's rumbling in Greece and Italy and Spain. All these beautiful holiday vacation spots are rumbling. So if you liked the video, leave it a like, share it with your friends, guys, and I hope to see you soon in the next one. And if you want to support my channel, there's links in the description. Become a supporting channel member, a monthly channel member for behind the scenes stuff. And I have to release a behind the scenes stuff. You see my finger. I'll release it a little later. I just say Eddie and Rudy again. So, but what happened was really crazy. Yeah, what did I want to say? Or you can buy me a coffee on my buymeacoffee.com/silky website. I guess that was it. I took too many ibuprofen, I guess, but that doesn't make me weird. I hope not. I hope this video was good. And check out the videos in the end screen, guys. I see you very soon. Bye-bye.